Good morning, children. Now we are going to talk about the conditions required for a chemical change to happen. A chemical change happens when some kind of external, condition will always be there. Then only the change will happen. Two chemicals which are kept away from each other without any kind of conditions will not react to each other. So what are the conditions required? Basically, we can divide these conditions into two forms. One is the collision of particles, and that collision, that is the particles should come in contact with each other, and this can be brought about by, first one is direct contact. Now direct contact, like if I give you the example, sodium reacts with water and 2O, H2O. We get sodium hydroxide plus hydrogen gas is evolved. Now this is a reaction of, so if you don't bring sodium in contact with water, then what is going to happen? The reaction will not happen. So direct contact is required. Something like, if you see a very common example of day to day life, if you want to prevent, you must have heard about rusting. When iron gets, in the moisture, in the presence of the moisture and air, it forms an iron oxide, which spoils the iron material, etc., and corrodes that. So if what you want to do, what you do for the preventing of rusting, you paint the material so that the supply of that air and the moisture is cut off from that, and the rusting will not take place. So if you don't bring the things in contact with each other, obviously the reaction will not happen. In order to prevent this reaction, what we generally do is we put the sodium under kerosene oil. We keep sodium under kerosene so that it does not come in contact with water, and the reaction will not happen. Now this, sometimes even the direct contact, when you bring the chemicals together, then also they do not react. In that case, sometimes we need to grind them. Grind the particles, that is, we have to bring them to the finally powdered form. Now what happens in grinding them? The surface area increases. Surface area of the reactant increases. If the surface area increases, maybe they may react. Like the example of that is potassium iodide and mercury chloride. If you react them, you bring them together without bringing the grounded solid state with big particles, they are not going to react. But in the grounded state, they are going to react. Like similarly, I told you the example of the direct contact. Then they can be this. Now sometimes even this grounded state will not help. Then the aqueous solution helps. Aqueous solution, you understand? Yes, it is the solution of the substance in water, when we mix the substance in water. Now what happens in the aqueous solution? There can be the particles like ions, etc. In the aqueous solution, these ions, they become mobile, that is, they start moving. Now this contact, then the particles can easily come in contact with each other, and then they react. So we can bring about the contact. Without bringing the contact, the reaction will not happen. That can be direct contact. Sometimes the reaction happens. If direct contact is not possible with the bigger particles, we can bring them in the grounded state, and the reaction may happen. In that case also, if it does not happen, then we use the aqueous solution. That is, we make them, we dissolve this reactant into water and we mix them. And one of the such example is the precipitation reaction. You have done those precipitation reaction. The reaction happens in case of aqueous solution, when the aqueous solution of two salt react to form the insoluble substance or the precipitate. Now the next important condition can be, now in these, if these conditions are not, like with the direct combination with the grounded state, the reaction is not happening, even the aqueous solution state, then they can be, the alteration of the conditions may be required. Now it's a very simple thing to understand. Alternation of the condition is nothing but the supply of energy. Supply of energy can be in the form of heat, can be the light, you all know about the photochemical reaction, and can be even electricity, that is the electrochemical reaction. Or other conditions can be the use of the catalyst, then pressure, then temperature, and in some cases even sound etc. can also be taken into consideration. So let us talk about the heat. You all know this reaction Pb3O4. When it is heated, thermal decomposition reactions you have done, we get PbO plus O2. Even lead nitrate gives you lead oxide plus nitrogen dioxide plus oxygen. So many thermal decomposition reactions you have done in this chapter only. So you know sometimes the reaction happens in the presence of heat. We put this sign. So this is a decomposition reaction which happens in the presence of heat. Then even a synthesis reaction can happen in the presence of heat. N2 plus H2 in the presence of heat is around temperatures around 3000. Very high temperatures are required for this. Then this reaction happens. Nitric oxide is produced by the combination of nitrogen and oxygen. So here the condition is heat. We have to supply heat. Then you must have heard about the electrochemical reactions. Now, electrochemical reactions, that is, which happen in the presence of electricity, and a very common example of that is acidified water. You know, electrolysis of acidified water. When you do this, acidified is always important to write because pure water is a non-conductor. So we get hydrogen and oxygen. They can be any other electrolysis can be taken as example, but a very common and easy example is the example of the decomposition of electrochemical decomposition of water. Then I talked to you about temperature, pressure. So you must have seen sometimes we write the specific condition, specific temperature for a reaction. You know this reaction, formation of ammonia, nitrogen plus hydrogen gives you 2NH3. The reaction is exothermic and it is a reversible reaction. We need to balance first. Now this particular reaction happens at the temperature of 450 to 500 degrees Celsius. This is the optimum temperature required for this reaction to happen. Similarly, for this particular reaction, the pressure required is 200 to 900 atmosphere. So you can see the example here. The pressure is also needed, the temperature is also needed. Whenever you write this reaction, you need to write. Then even a catalyst. You know what is a catalyst? Yes, catalyst is something which alters the rate of the reaction without itself taking part in the reaction. That is, itself it is not going to undergo any change. It is going to alter, and the alter means it can even increase or decrease the rate of the reaction. If it is increasing the rate of the reaction, it is known as a positive catalyst, and if it decreases the rate of the reaction, it is known as a negative catalyst. And even a promoter is also used in this particular reaction, that is molybdenum. Promoter increases the efficiency of the catalyst, helps the catalyst to do some more work properly. Then you must have heard about this pressure. Let us talk about one more example of the catalyst here. There are so many examples of the catalyst. You must have heard about decomposition of hydrogen peroxide. It keeps on decomposing on its own also, but that is very slow decomposition taking place. But in the presence of this MnO2, manganese dioxide, the decomposition becomes faster. So catalyst may be required for a reaction to happen. And similarly, if you talk about this, SO2 plus O2 gives you SO3, again a reversible reaction, sulfur trioxide. There are so many examples. V2O4, vanadium pentaoxide is used as a catalyst for this particular reaction. So these kinds of catalysts may be required for the reaction to happen. And now a very unique example is acetylene. In the presence of the sound, it changes to carbon and hydrogen. That is the presence of the sound energy. There are some reaction which happens. The sound energy, this speeds up the reacting molecules and helps in doing the reaction. So these are some of the conditions that we talk about for the reaction to happen. Yes, you all know. So you have done so many different types of reaction, and you know this. So like again we are going to revise this. The condition for the reaction, what chemical change are. First one is the collision of the particles, which can be brought about by direct contact, by grinding the substances or by using the aqueous solution. This, if the reaction happens, well and good. If it does not happen, then there can be the altering of the conditions may be required, which is basically the supply of heat energy, the use of heat energy, light energy, or the electrical energy. Then it can be the use of the catalyst, use of the specific pressure or a specific temperature, or even the sound energy. And then we talked about, like, this is the example where the heat energy is used, this is an example where the electrical energy is being used. Then we have a reaction example which have all the condition required. There is a temperature, there is pressure, there is catalyst. And here again we have this decomposition of hydrogen peroxide, where the decomposition happens in the presence of manganese dioxide. So these, and then we have the last one where this is an organic compound, acetylene, C2H2. In the presence of the sound, it decomposes to give you 2 atoms of carbon and hydrogen molecule. Thank you.